Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Finley Kozlowski, Blue Apron's President and CEO. It's my pleasure to welcome you tonight to our live cooking event with Chef Sam Kass in celebration of Partnership for a Healthier America's Pass the Love campaign with waffles and mochi. Blue Apron's vision is to provide better living through better food, and we believe that a delicious and healthy meal shouldn't be out of reach. Over the last few months, we've partnered with PHA to support their work in meaningfully shifting our food culture. One of the most exciting parts of working at Blue Apron is that we get to see the benefits home cooking has on people's lives every day. Earlier this year, we launched our wellness campaign focused on the 360-degree benefits home cooking has on our health, because we know that it goes far beyond physical health. Good food prepared and enjoyed at home has the power to bring families together, teach us about new cultures, or just help us relax after a long day. For many families, cooking can be overwhelming, stressful, and time-consuming, but at Blue Apron, we know this doesn't have to be the case. When you cook with us, we want to empower you in the kitchen to give you lifelong skills that you can share with others and pass down. And that's what we're hoping you can walk away with tonight. A new set of skills that you can show off to your family and friends, and of course, a delicious and nutritious meal we know you'll love. We couldn't ask for a better partner than Chef Sam Kass to host this class with us. Throughout his career, Chef Kass has proven that healthy cooking doesn't need to be complicated or out of reach. He regularly uses his platform to show the amazing benefits of cooking with high-quality ingredients, and we're so happy to have him sharing his culinary expertise with us all tonight. We hope that you'll not only enjoy cooking with us, but also consider donating to the Pass the Love campaign and help them raise funds to feed 1 million families across the country. To donate, you can visit cook.ba/passthelove. Thank you for joining us tonight. And now I'll pass things off to my colleague, Chef Jessica Halper in the Blue Apron kitchen. Happy cooking.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jessica Halper, and I am a chef and registered nutritionist here at Blue Apron. And I couldn't be more excited to welcome Chef Sam Kass to our kitchen this evening to help us support Partnership for a Healthier America and their Pass the Love campaign. Welcome to our kitchen, Chef.
I'm so excited to be here.
I think we've got a very exciting night planned. So we're going to be cooking through one of your recipes that's going to be on our menu next week. And also, just given your expertise in really the health and wellness space, we're really hoping that you can share with us some of your tips and your tricks about how to incorporate healthy eating into your everyday routine.
Yep. No, I'm excited to be here. We're going to have a great time.
Throughout the night, we're going to be asking you to help us support Partnership for a Healthier America and their Pass the Love with Waffles and Mochi campaign and help bring 1 million meals to families in need across the country. Blue Apron is proud to match any qualifying dollar up to a total of $55,000, but only through tomorrow. So please go to cook.ba/passthelove this evening to donate now. And we're going to start getting everything together, and we're just going to cut to a video of Nancy Roman from PHA.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nancy Roman, President and CEO of Partnership for a Healthier America. At PHA, we're taking action to transform our food system in pursuit of food equity. And one of the ways we're doing that is through our partnership with Blue Apron. So thank you for being here tonight as we cook alongside Sam Kass. This cooking class is part of an important movement to shift our food culture towards food made at home. We know that at-home meals tend to have less of the bad stuff, salt, fat, and sugar, and more of the good, vegetables, nuts, healthy fats. That's why we adopted the adorable waffles and mochi and created a campaign to promote meals prepared at home. We're also raising funds so that it's possible for families and communities where child poverty is high to have that chance too. Through this campaign and with your support, we're providing 1 million meals to families who need them. We've known for a long time that food is the building block of good health. Every year, it seems we learn something that makes us realize that it's even more important than we thought. So given all we know, don't you think every family in America deserves access to good, high quality food? By joining tonight, you're already part of this movement. I hope you'll support the campaign too. If you make a gift before September 15th, it will be matched by Blue Apron up to $55,000. You can donate and learn more at cook.ba/pass the love. On behalf of everyone at PHA and all the families we serve, thank you so very much. We're really grateful. Have a good time.
So, Chef, tell us what are we making tonight?
All right, we're gonna make something absolutely delicious. One of my favorite meals.
Yeah.
An apple cider pork chop with a Faro risotto with some roasted vegetables.
That sounds awesome.
And it's delicious, and you can see, especially with the risotto, it's a dish you can make in all kinds of different ways. So you get the basic technique, and then everybody at home, after you order the box, can then learn it, practice it, and then take it anywhere you want to go in the future.
So when you say you can make it in all different ways, what does that mean?
Well, basically, like once you learn the basic technique of cooking the Faro in the style of a risotto, you could add basically anything you want. Any vegetables, any vegetable combination. You could add seafood. You can add kind of whatever you want, whatever you got laying around. If you got something that looks like it's almost on its deathbed,
that's a good thing to put in there.
It's a great thing to put in there. Some chard that's sort of wilty, some carrots that are getting a little limp, like whatever you got, eggplants, whatever the case may be, you can dump it in there, mix it up, and it's absolutely delicious. Can't go wrong.
So do you always follow a recipe step from step, or do you like to freestyle a little more?
I never follow a recipe.
You never follow a recipe step
Ever,
from step.
ever,
Are
ever.
we in trouble tonight?
So this is actually an interesting challenge for me, is to follow my own recipe.
Your own recipe.
That's good. Let's see if
You'll see it here first.
I hope I don't mess it up. I think actually part of what's amazing about Blue Apron is that it helps people get through the steps and order of cooking.
Yeah.
But as you get a little confidence, it's, you get a little more, you've tried some things, you know what works, you know what doesn't.
Yeah.
You can start playing around a little bit, because there's no right or wrong. It's just, you'll get different outcomes, but they might be even more delicious. So
totally.
I encourage people to, if you have a good idea, like, you know what, this thing, if I just added this or that, would be that much better, like, go for it. I think that's what cooking's all about.
I think that's what we try to do at Blue Apron. We try to give people a tool set to build confidence in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are just sort of terrified to, open up their drawer and pull a knife out and start to prep a dish. But we want to sort of break down those barriers for them, because anyone can cook, right? It's practice. Cook. Anyone can be a great cook.
Yeah, everybody can. Like, I got a 4 and a 2-year-old, and they are unbelievable. Like, once they get it, they're like, they insist on making a salad now, basically every night.
Wow.
They insist on cutting everything, and like even the 2-year-old, really good knife skills.
Yeah.
And like they got not all their combination. The last salad last week was a tomato, olive, blueberry, Parmesan cheese salad. So it doesn't always come out how you want to, but it's powerful once you give people just some encouragement, some confidence. Everybody can cook.
All right. Well, let's give some encouragement to those
Let's
folks
do it.
out there. Should we start? So what is the first thing that we need to do for this recipe?
So like in any kitchen, for any recipe, whether you're in your house or in a restaurant, your mise en place is key.
Okay.
And it's sort of a good mise en place means everything in its place, which is essentially saying just get set up right, get your basic chopping done, get the components ready, and then everything else is going to go more smoothly.
Okay.
If you're trying to figure out like, oh, I got this cooking that's going, oh, I got to go cut that other thing, I got to do this. That's when it starts to get stressful. Yeah. And like if you're working in a restaurant, a busy service, like if you're not set up well, you're going to get your butt kicked.
You certainly are.
And
that well.
Yeah, and by the way, like that's sort of true for your health as well. And I think part of what we have to do a better job at is making sure we're set up for success. We set up our kitchens and our pantries with the kind of foods we want to eat.
Yes.
Not surround ourselves with the things we're trying to avoid and then eat them and feel bad about ourselves. And so just the whole idea of like preparation and setting yourself up in a good place is key. So for this, there's a few key ingredients that we need to get ready.
Okay.
For the risotto, we're going to start with a shallot and 2 cloves of garlic, finely diced. And we're just going to start there.
I will say, a lot of people are very intimidated by knife work.
Yeah.
So do you have any tips or tricks for when you're cutting something like a shallot that's round and it flies off the cutting board, or, just ways to get started with simple knife skills?
So, I mean, the most basic tip is bear claw, which is what I teach my 3-year-old, what I teach adults, everybody. Bear claw is the key. We just want to not cut our finger off.
Right.
Like that's the,
Don't cut your finger off.
And now watch, I'm going to cut my finger on live, whatever this is, YouTube. So the key is, I think, don't worry about it. and just keep your fingers out of harm's way. And if your cuts aren't perfect, like I think we put a little too much stock into it. Everything needs to look perfect.
No.
Like it doesn't really matter, guys. Like it just doesn't matter. Like you want things generally cut the same size.
Yes.
It's kind of your only real goal. And as long as that's the true, even if it's big or small, you could work it out. When you have a bunch of pieces that are too big or too small, that's when you can start getting things that are uneven.
Okay.
So with a shallot, what I do is I'll cut it once in the middle, or you don't even have to do that. And then, just some slices. You want to keep the core. The core is going to hold it together.
Yep.
And then there's where your bear claw comes in. And then just some nice dices.
Beautiful.
And then, like I cut the ends, and that piece isn't perfect. And like, I just don't really care.
No, it's really about how it tastes.
Like the chef that trained me was like turning over in his grave right now. He's actually still alive. So he's probably watching this. He's a wonderful man. Sorry, chef. But like, we're not too precious here. You're just trying to get the shallots in the dish.
So you're doing like, it looks like sort of a small dice on that.
Just a small
shallot.
dice. Yep.
Yeah.
Small dice. No big deal. Everything's fine. So I'll put that back in here.
Okay. And I know that these are, usually we'll refer to these as aromatics in a dish.
Yep.
But I don't think everyone knows what an aromatic exactly is.
Yeah, aromatics are the kind of basis of a lot of dishes. And I don't look at this. Like I don't even have room to put all this in. So I'm going to put this over here.
Yep.
And we're going to dump it in 1 second. So just,
Yep.
We're keeping it easy here, people.
We're keeping it casual.
We're keeping it real. I'm from Chicago. We're not fancy.
But it will taste delicious.
It's going to taste delicious. We're going to do the garlic.
Okay. And that's also an aromatic, right?
This is all aromatic. So this is like what's the foundation of so many of your dishes. It's going to give you the base flavor. Carrots, celery, onions, garlic are all like great bases for whatever, basically anything you're doing.
Yeah.
And
I would assume different cuisines can have different types of aromatics.
Definitely.
Yeah. So we're doing shallot, we're doing garlic, but like, if you are cooking, say a Thai dish, you might use something like lemongrass, you might use ginger.
It just totally depends.
Yeah.
But it's literally your base, your ingredients that give you that base flavor.
Got it. And I just noticed you did something, sometimes when people are handling garlic and it has that annoying peel, it's very difficult to know how to get it off.
Yeah, just a little bump will get it loose.
A little bump.
And then careful not to go too hard. You don't have to smash it.
No.
But I just kind of flatten it, and then it's easier to dice.
Got it.
So we have that there.
Okay. And if you're just tuning in, just to remind you all, we are gathering funds to help support PHA this evening and their Partnership for Healthy America this evening and their Pass the Love campaign with waffles and mochi. Blue Apron is proud to match any qualifying dollars up to $55,000, but only through tomorrow. So please donate tonight. We are already up to $17,000.
Yeah, people.
Really, really, really want to hit that 55K mark. So please go to cook.ba/passthelove and donate tonight. And while Chef keeps prepping some of his vegetables, I think we may have a question from the audience.
Yeah, we've got lots of chatter. People thinking it looks delicious. I'm really excited to see the recipes come together.
Great.
We've got a quick question on, do you have a trick for peeling garlic?
A trick for peeling garlic.
Yeah, so I like if it doesn't come off easy, then I'll just basically give it a little bump with the flat part of the knife, and it will make it loose, and then you just should peel it right off. Or like honestly, if you need to buy some pre-peeled garlic in the store, like I'm not going to judge you. No problem.
I won't judge you either.
No judgment there.
No judges.
And then also on the peeling theme, wondering if you've got a favorite tip for how to keep your eyes from watering when you're chopping
That's a good
onions.
I honestly like there's a million tips out there, like put a piece of bread in your nose, keep the water running. Like I don't even know all of them that are out there. I found that none of them work. Maybe wearing sunglasses that gives you some basic protection, or like just like let out a good cry. Like it's fine. It makes you feel better.
I mean, I'm not against wearing goggles. I gotta say, I'm serious. I have an old pair of goggles.
We're gonna hold Jess, and next time she does that, she has to Instagram herself.
I used to swim in high school, and I have an old pair of goggles that I will pull out to chop onions. I think we got one more question.
I've never seen that.
No, I do.
If somebody has goggles, can they please bring them here? Okay, one more question.
Yeah. Any tips on how often to sharpen your knives, or when to know they're going dull?
So for knives, a sharp knife is a wonderful thing. And the longer that it goes without sharpening, the harder it is to get a nice edge on it. So as much as you can, I would sharpen your knives. And if you're doing it, even once a week, it doesn't take very much to get a nice edge right back. If you're, waiting months, like sometimes I do, then it's work to get some nice edges on it. I find it very therapeutic. So I enjoy sharpening knives, although with 2 little kids, I find that I don't do it as much as I would love to.
And just some fun comments from the community. Katie says open the jar is her favorite trick for garlic. She hates peeling and chopping.
Open the jar.
Oh, I get it.
I was like, God,
Open the jar.
I love that. Okay, Katie, I'm with you.
Heather, it says keep your mouth open when chopping. Works for her. And then Blue Apron, our Alex says nothing wrong with a good cry too.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with a good cry.
Exactly. But keep your questions coming. We're having fun. Ask anything you want. I know I might regret saying that, but after 6 years in DC, I can step around any kind of question with the best of them. So ask away.
So so what are you doing right now? I see that you're chopping peppers.
Yep. So these are shishito peppers.
Okay.
I grow shishito peppers. I love shishito peppers. 1 in 10 more or less is pretty spicy. The rest are mild. They have a wonderful flavor. And so we're going to roast those. But first, I think we should get our faro going.
Get our faro going. Okay. I just turned this on, so I'm going to put it back.
Okay.
This is hot. So you said that, typically people are used to risotto with rice. I've got to ask, why use faro?
So I love faro for a bunch of reasons. One, quite frankly, and I love a rice risotto. So with all due love and respect to all my Italians and their rice, I think how about this? I think faro tastes just as good. Different.
Bold statement.
Different. Okay. Maybe I should come up with a different name. But I think it's really delicious because it has a really nutty, deep nutty flavor. Has great texture. And the health benefits are off the charts. So it's really good food to eat. Tons of fiber and nutrients. And I just think it's night after night, like a much better.
Yeah.
I just prefer it, quite frankly.
And if you don't, you're talking about all the health benefits of something like a whole grain. If you can't find faro, what else can you use in this dish if you want to use a whole grain?
I mean, quite frankly, like you can use just about any grain this way. You could use, there's a bunch of different kinds of basically wheat berries, of which faro is in that family. Look at my terrible knife skills. Can you see that? Look at that. Terrible.
But I can smell it,
and that's okay.
Very
and I want you to know it's going to taste just as good as if I cut that shallot perfectly. Don't worry about it. So you just cook this down a little bit. We're going to get that going just a bit, and then we're going to get our faro in there and toast it so it gets a nice, more rich flavor.
How long do we want to let these go for?
Just a minute or two. When it starts to get translucent, you'll see it gets going. You don't really want any color on this.
Okay.
I like to get it going, but I got to just stop and say, listen, people. So this is a great night for me. I actually helped found the Partnership for Healthy America way back when with my dear friend Michelle Obama, and it's great to come full circle. And their mission has been incredible in terms of improving the health of families and kids for many years now. So we need everybody to step up and donate. And by the way, like if Waffles and Mochi are asking for it, like how can you deny that? I mean, it's Waffles and Mochi people. But we're trying to bring food to 1 million people around the country who need it. Right now, people are struggling, People are still struggling, and they just don't have enough basic food on their tables that has any nutritional value. So we're going to need everybody's help. And for all of us who can even be on a computer watching this, like we're not going to miss those few dollars, but it's going to make a big difference in people's lives. So we all can play our part and have a big impact. So don't mess around. Give us a meaningful donation and help all these kids. So now back to our regularly scheduled program. Now we're gonna get our faro in, and you want to let that cook for just a little bit before you get your liquid in. And this helps give it a little toast. It helps bring out some of the flavor in the faro itself.
And would you also do this with rice? Is this like the same?
Yep, you would do this right. So this, like normally what you do here is, you cook this down and you put a little of your white wine, and then you put whatever your broth is. Same basic. The technique is essentially exactly the same as you would with the risotto. But you could do barley like this, I don't like it as much.
No.
You could do, you know.
Did you have brown rice risotto?
Yeah,
if
sure.
You wanted to use
Absolutely.
rice? Okay.
You can do anything. You can do anything.
It's really it's choose your own adventure risotto.
Choose your own
really is
adventure.
What it is. I can kind of smell some of the nuttiness
Yeah.
actually coming out.
Yep, you'll totally get that.
And you know, like a minute or two?
Yeah, just a couple minutes.
Okay.
And now we're about to add our broth. Let me check the recipe to make sure I don't mess up.
So I think next we're gonna add. You said usually you add white wine.
So
but
instead, we're going to do
we're more
verjus.
PG here. So,
Yes, we are.
Yes.
We're going to keep it straight. So we'll add verjus, which is basically wine before it's wine. And that gives us the nice acidity that the wine would otherwise give you. And then we'll get in. We're going to use water today. But if you happen to have some stock, vegetable stock, chicken stock, even a bouillon cube that you want to put in there, you can absolutely throw that in.
How is so I don't think everyone's got a bit of a kick to it. So I don't think everyone has heard of verjus. How is it different? Is it like a vinegar? Is it different than a vinegar?
Yeah, it's similar to a vinegar. It's basically green grapes before they're fully ripe that are pressed.
Okay.
So it gives you the same kind of quality of a white wine vinegar.
Okay.
You could literally use some vinegar if that's, if you
so-
try to recreate this after you buy the box, and then you could use vinegar after that.
All right. So you just added
So add that.
maybe like a tablespoon or two.
Yeah, a
of,
couple in there.
verjus.
And don't worry, you can just add some. It evaporates. You're good. Now we add. Let's check, right, people? Is everybody checking with me?
Is
Yes.
everyone following along?
Now we add 3 cups of water. We'll season it up a little bit. Now this could be anything, any kind of broth you wanted. And depending on what you were making, you could do vegetable broth, shrimp, stock, whatever you wanted. Normally, if I'm just making a standard risotto, I'd use chicken stock probably, depending.
Chicken stock. Oh,
We got a question.
We got a
We
question.
do have a question on the verjus. Now, if you were going to use wine, is there a particular varietal you recommend?
Good question.
Nope. Cheap.
I mean, I always say if you're going to use wine, have a glass while you are cooking, because literally, why not? So
Yeah, that's
get
true.
yourself something nice.
But I'm always a little torn. If it's that nice, I'm gonna drink the whole bottle.
I don't know,
So-
a little for the pot, a little for you,
So-
you know?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if I have some really cheap $7 bottle Pinot
Yeah.
Grigio cooking wine.
That will also do. I was just informed that we are up to $20,000.
That's what I'm talking about,
There we
people.
go.
But that's just not good enough.
Not enough.
We need to keep this going. It's all for the kids. Help the kids. All right, I'm gonna clean
Yep.
my station.
Which is also very important, right?
Yep.
Keeping your station clean. I was always told if you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Yeah, that's right. Now, even if you don't have time to lean, you better have time to
You
clean.
better have time to clean.
Yeah, it just helps keep things, in order, helps you not make mistakes, forget ingredients.
Yep.
You just want things kind of together.
Station clear, mind clear.
Yes.
So what are we doing next? We got
You
our
tell me.
Faro risotto. It's cooking. You added about, 3 cups of water. We're
Yep.
going to let it go.
Yep.
How
Now,
long? About 20, 25 minutes or
Yep.
so? Okay.
Yep. And look, you can take it nice and slow, but if you're in a rush like I normally am, if you got to blast this for a while and then slow down at the very end,
Yeah. It'll forgive
it's
you.
happened before. Yes. That's part of the thing. It's a very hearty, tough
Yeah.
grain.
Okay.
So it can take it. And either way, you're going to still get the nice texture, great flavor. You can't really mess it up.
Okay. Great. So we're going to let that go. I think we're going to start on our veggies next.
Correct.
So
I already
we're gonna
got them
roast
chopped
these. Yep.
and I need them roasted. If you wouldn't mind handing me
Yes.
that beautiful blue
Blue
pan.
sheet pan. And
Now-
I've noticed we've got some parchments.
I'm a
on
parchment
this
kind of guy.
sheet pan.
I'm a parchment kind of guy for 2 main reasons. One, it makes, first and foremost, definitely foremost, it makes cleanup very easy
Yes.
because, you just take it off and you're done. Most of the time, you don't even have to wash the pan.
Yeah.
Lovely.
That's a big plus.
Second, I don't like putting the food directly on foil or aluminum pans because some foods the pan will react to
Got
the
it.
food. So I find this keeps it nice and clean and neutral.
I mean, the
So-
cleanup is really selling me.
Yes.
Gotta say.
And me
No
too.
more
Let's just be
dishes.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've all done a lot of cooking.
And there's a lot of recipes. You can basically just put the whole thing on a pan and you're
Yeah.
done and it'll clean up.
Sheet pan dinners.
Yep. So
So I noticed that, I think you mentioned this earlier, that even if your knife work isn't perfect, what's kind of important is that everything is the same
Yep.
size. Why?
Where you're going to run into trouble is if like half what you've cut is undercooked and half what you cut is burnt. So if you have a bunch of little pieces, they're going to be burnt before the bigger pieces are cooked.
It's like Goldilocks.
So I honestly don't care if you had every piece like this. Yeah, exactly. I don't care if you had every piece of this tiny or every piece of this super big. Like whatever you prefer, that's fine with me. But I think the thing you're going for is pretty even cuts so that they cook the same.
They cook the same.
That's
and
the
I
main goal.
assume you want to make sure that, you know, when you're setting up this sort of sheet pan for success, everything is spread out nice and evenly.
Yeah, you want to get one of the things that one of the most common mistakes is that they overcrowd their sheet pans.
Right.
And because here's what we're doing here. What we're doing here is trying to get some nice color on these vegetables, which means you're basically caramelizing the sugars.
Yep.
And if they are too close, then you're going to get basically like steamed vegetables.
Right.
They'll be mushy and soggy with no color and
Got
just
it.
not that good.
Yeah.
So we're basically spreading them out with a little oil, a little salt, a little pepper. I didn't put any pepper. I'm not the biggest pepper guy,
No, why not?
but the people are. So let's give the people what they want.
So it really doesn't need much. These veggies kind of speak for themselves.
They speak
A
for
little
themselves.
salt,
Yeah.
pepper.
That's it. And we're going to roast them, get some really nice color on them. Put them in hot. Everybody's oven's a little different.
Yeah.
But I like roasting vegetables hot, like 450,
That's what we've got this oven at.
500.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll just broil them.
Really?
I'll heat it up to 500 and then put the broiler on and then put them in.
Yep.
So you're getting tons of color before they get too overcooked.
Is roasting your favorite way to prepare veggies, would you say?
In the winter, it's definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
In the summer, it's grilling for the same reason. You get a really hot heat. They get a lot of nice color.
Yep.
Get you that flavor before it gets mushy. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, no mushy vegetables here. I think we got 2 questions. I'm going to put this in the oven
Thank you.
for you.
Yes.
What do we got?
Scott, when you're shopping for veggies, do you have any tips for identifying like the freshness or like any tricks and tips?
Yes. What are the best? First of all, there's no magic here. You want to look for things that aren't wilting or, got, spots developing, it's everything that's sort of obvious. All my friends in the retail sector will probably call me tomorrow and be like, why did you say this? But look behind, because normally what they'll do, or under, because, they'll put the old on top or the old, the new is in the back. So I'm definitely always checking to see is that one three back a little fresher than what I have in front of me. But I think more than any of that, so just check it out. The pepper should be hard.
Mm-hmm.
Vegetables should be hard. Eggplant should be hard. Peppers should be hard. Onions really hard. If they're starting to feel soft or they're looking a little wilty, that means they're not that fresh. But most of the stuff you're going to get in grocery stores is pretty good.
Yeah.
Really where I think we start to go wrong is when it goes into that vegetable bin at the bottom of our fridges. That's where things go downhill fast because we forget about them. They start getting old.
Yep.
We realize at the end of the week, oh man, I forgot about this. It looks bad. We end up tossing it. And that's a vicious cycle because it feels bad to us. It's a waste of money. I think over time, little by little, we end up buying less of the things we really need and less of things that make us healthy. And so having a plan for the week is really helpful way to know, okay, I'm going to cook these 3 dishes this week. I need these ingredients. I know how I'm going to use them. I'm going to get the best quality I can. And I think you'll be good to go.
I think there's ways to sort of sometimes troubleshoot some of those vegetables that
Totally.
are hiding in your refrigerator. I mean, that's when you make soup. That's when you make stew.
Or Faro
Or
risotto.
that's when you make Faro risotto. So even if you've lost that piece of celery in the very, very back of your fridge, don't quite give up on it yet.
Definitely
There
don't
is
give
a
up.
home for it.
I will say the one other tip that's really helpful is ice baths do wonders.
Yes.
Anything leafy, if it's starting to go, throw it in an ice bath. Sometimes it just comes back to it's new. Sometimes it's too far gone, but most of the time it'll really come back to life.
Yep.
Same with carrots. Nothing better than carrots in sitting in ice water for a while.
Yep.
They get super crunchy really quick. So I would, if you're ever wondering, should I throw it? If it feels too far gone to use, just throw it in some ice water and see how it goes.
That's a great tip.
Great tips. And then wondering if you have any favorite herb combinations with roasting vegetables.
Ooh, herbs are You cannot go wrong with herbs, in my opinion. And I think it's one of these things. Herbs and nuts, I feel like basically are interchangeable. There's some really strong herbs like tarragon, which I love, that you want to use judiciously.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, I just throw them together and see what happens. Obviously, I put parsley on just about everything.
Yeah.
Not as a garnish, like as part of the dish. It goes in any salad, basil, cilantro, whatever you got. I mix them all the time.
Yeah.
Same as nuts, though. And a combo of an herb, a nut, and some kind of acid can basically make any kind of vegetable delicious. So pecans, hazelnuts, cashews, almonds, I always will have that in basically every dish I have. And that's sort of the magic combo for me. It's some kind of roasted vegetable with some kind of really bright vinegar, lemon juice, some real acidity, and a nut and an herb. And it's like,
You're set.
you're good.
Herbs are really that way to kind of elevate a dish very, very quickly.
Yep.
I think it's, oftentimes I'm making a dish and someone's like, there's something so special about this. And it's just a bunch of fresh herbs.
Yep.
Parsley,
That's all it is.
tarragon, basil. That's really all you need.
Yep.
And just to remind everyone why we are here tonight is to raise funds for PHA. Blue Apron is very proud to match any qualifying dollars up to $55,000. As I just mentioned, we're up to $20,000. That's great. Guess what? It's not enough. So keep going to cook.ba/passthelove and donate now.
Pass the love.
Pass
Waffles
the
and
love.
mochi. All right, let's cook these pork chops.
All right, so we got our
That's
veg
cooking.
roasting.
Yep.
We've got our faro
Yep,
cooking away.
Give us a little
Give it a little stir.
stir. It's coming on nicely.
Okay.
All right, we can put that on that burner over there.
Yep. Is there something that we're looking for? I'm gonna borrow one of those towels so I don't burn myself on live TV. What are we looking for in this risotto? Like, how will we know when it's finished?
Basically, it'll start to thicken up. The water or stock will really start to evaporate,
Okay.
and then we're going to finish it up with any kind of cheese. You'll see what we do, but butter, Parmesan cheese, some
Fat.
kind of fat.
Fat.
You need some fat,
Fat is great.
and then you're good.
Awesome. All right. So we will continue to let that cook.
Yep.
Let's prep our pork.
Yes. Where
I
are
think-
my pork chops? I think they're over there.
They're right over here.
Let me get our pan on here.
Lovely pork chops. Why pork for this recipe?
I think that pork is kind of like a gateway drug.
Please say more.
Yeah. So look, I mean, as a country, we are eating too much meat,
Yep.
especially red meat. It has not best for our health and definitely problematic for the planet.
Yep.
Definitely driving the majority of greenhouse gas emissions. And so, the footprint, we got to start working our way down. Smaller the animal, the better the footprint, essentially, is a good rule of thumb. And so I love meat. I'm always going to have some meat. I'm eating more plants. I'm eating less meat. But as we work our way down, pork is a really great kind of gateway into a more plant-based diet. It's
Because
delicious.
it's smaller than a cow.
It has a better, it converts feed more efficiently. So it takes less. So the impact on the environment is less.
Got it.
It's not perfect, but it's less.
It's less.
And we're just working towards, doing better and making progress.
Yep.
So for me, it's a great way to start shifting our diets to in a more sustainable direction
Got
as
it.
we include more plants.
Got it.
And it's absolutely delicious.
Yeah,
So you
totally.
can't go wrong.
So walk me through, you've got two beautiful pork chops. What
Yep.
is the best way to prep these?
Yep. So I put some salt on there,
Okay.
and then I got some spices, the spice blend.
Yep.
Uh,
So this is actually we call this our Weeknight Hero Spice Blend. And it truly is a bit of a Weeknight Hero. It's a combination of garlic powder, onion powder, some paprika, a little bit of parsley, and you can just really add it to any protein of your choice. I've actually even added to tofu when I am trying to eat more plant-based, and
Beautiful.
it just embeds flavor very, very quickly. So I see that you're giving these like a nice coating.
Yep. Can't get too much on here.
Okay.
Like more is better.
More is better both sides.
Yep. And we got our pan heat up. When you put a blend of herbs or spices on a piece of meat like this, you have to be a little careful not to burn it.
Yep.
So you don't want your pan too hot. So here we'll cook at a little lower temperature as opposed to if you didn't have that on and you wanted to sear it and finish in the oven.
Yep.
You could cook hotter.
Got it.
So here we turn it down. We'll see how we do. We may have to turn it up.
Turn it up a
Maybe turn it up and we'll bring it back down.
How do you know? I mean, this is kind of an age-old question, but how do you know when your pan is hot enough?
You
How do
just
know
want
when
to
it's
see
ready?
the oil shimmering a little bit.
Okay.
You don't want it to get to a full smoke. If you see a little smoke, that's okay. But
Okay.
if it's burning, dump the oil and start again.
Got it. So it should really kind of dance around in
it
the
should
pan.
dance a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
And when you touch it, the other way you can try is just like, there's a little sear,
Little
but
bit.
you want to
Hear
get a
it.
little more. You
Yeah.
want to see a little like snap crackle.
I noticed that you're using a nonstick pan, and there's lots of feelings around nonstick
People
pans.
have got a lot of feelings.
People have a lot of feelings around nonstick pans. Why a nonstick pan for this recipe?
You don't have to.
Yeah?
See, that's not hot enough, guys.
No.
We're taking it out,
No. I'm
pulling
not
it.
hearing it. Mm-mm. See? Mistakes happen.
Even for me,
There you go.
it's a shame.
He's a
After all
professional.
these years,
Mhm.
spent my life cooking, can't share pork chop. No, we're gonna get it. Just gotta wait. Non-stick. Listen, I mean, I think if you're gonna get non-stick, you should get a good one.
Yep.
It's a worthwhile investment, and it just makes it easier. Like part of the
Yeah.
thing I think that freaks people out is when their food sticks to the pan.
Yeah.
And having one good non-stick to do fish, especially, is really
Yeah.
much better in non-stick for the average person.
Yep.
You know, I definitely make an omelet with a non-stick. You know, some of the basics. I think it's good to have.
I think a good non-stick pan is a gateway drug into cooking.
There you go.
I do. I think it
There
just
you
sets you up nicely for success, especially for things like fish.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally.
So I see that you've added.
There we go. You
pork
see the nice
chops.
sizzle? That's what we're looking for.
Okay. How long?
I'm gonna give this to you
I'll
over
take
there.
this. How long are we gonna let these go for?
These will go about 4, 5, maybe 6 minutes on either side, and we'll flip them, get them on each side. These are thin. Blue Apron has cut them perfectly, so they should be done. We'll let them rest for a minute, and then
Okay.
we'll be good to go.
I've noticed there's quite a bit of oil in that pan. Is that how much you want typically, or it doesn't really matter?
If you got a good non-stick,
Yeah.
doesn't matter as
Yep.
much.
And you use olive oil.
You can use whatever Blue Apron sends you.
We don't send any oil, but we always recommend olive oil.
Olive oil, sorry. Either olive oil, grapeseed oil, peanut oil. I use sometimes.
Unless you're allergic to peanuts.
Then don't use it, please,
So
God.
don't use peanut oil.
I will not be held responsible for anybody
No.
who uses peanut
No.
oil. And yeah, basically any oil that's got a decent smoke point on it. And yeah, let's let that go,
Okay.
and away we are.
So we're gonna let this go for I think about 4 to 6.
4 to 6,
4
yeah.
to 6 minutes.
Let's see how we do.
And while this keeps cooking, again, just to remind everyone to donate to PHA tonight, go to cook.va/passtheLove. We are up to $20,200. Great number. You know what? Again, not high enough. We want to hit that 55K mark. Please go to cook.va/passtheLove. And please share
Yeah.
that link on social with your friends, with your network. Share the video with them after. Get them involved. Get them excited about this amazing, amazing cause. Because as Chef Sam Kass just said, people out there are hurting. So let's help them.
Don't forget, every dollar you give is going to be doubled. So
Yep.
that's your $1, is twice as much to a family that needs it. So, stretch a little bit. It's going to have a huge impact for young kids who we're asking them to learn. We're asking them to behave. We're asking them to handle their business. But so many kids don't have the basic nutrition in their bellies. They'll go a day with one meal if they're lucky. And that's just unacceptable in this country. And so these are the kind of efforts that we need, especially now, especially in the middle of COVID. More and more families are right on the edge or have been tipped over the edge, and they need our help. So it's the least we can do. It doesn't take much. A little goes a long way.
And Waffles and Mochi says so.
And waffles and mochi, especially mochi, says so.
Especially mochi. You can't say no to that mochi.
Definitely not.
No. I think we've got
And keep sending your questions. I think we got
another
some more.
question from the audience.
So speaking about eating more vegetables, someone wondering, can we make this a vegetarian version of this?
Absolutely.
And then also any tips for not scratching your non-stick? Ooh,
Yes.
Good one.
So to make this vegetarian, whatever you love, you could do the same exact setup with tofu or seitan, just like exact same thing. Probably don't have to sear it quite as long, but eat a ton of tofu in our house. Easy to do. You could do mushrooms. You could do any other vegetable with kind of a seasoning. Roast them really good, or pan sear them, pan fry them really good so they get a lot of color, and put them on top of the Faro risotto. Basically, you can serve anything with this risotto. Yeah. Or, by the way, that risotto itself, that's a meal. If you want to bump it up with some extra veg, or use more, either different additional veg that you have in your fridge, or add more of the mushrooms and shishitos. Also, great call. So yeah.
I will say this recipe is on our menu next week. So if you are interested in ordering it, go to blueapron.com. But we are offering a customization option to pick a different protein if pork is just not for you. So we do want to make sure that we're allowing you to be flexible. So if you want to make a vegetarian, you can make a vegetarian. If you want to add something like salmon because you're pescatarian, you can do that as well.
Yep. This is almost ready.
Look at it's almost ready to flip.
About to flip them right now.
Okay.
And the key to not scratching is to not use metal. That looks good.
If you have a nonstick pan that is
That's exactly what we're looking for.
Do you want to get rid of it?
I'm sure there's a right or wrong answer to this.
Yeah.
My general rule is if there's a scratch or two, it's okay.
Yeah.
But if you start seeing pieces of your pan and your food, probably time to get a new pan.
No, you don't want that.
You don't want that.
No.
So
that's a beautiful sear.
Looks pretty good.
It looks really good.
Thank God.
So we're doing another 4 minutes or so on this side.
And listen, after you do it long enough, and I would just encourage people as they cook meat, the way I do it is it's just touch. And I know you're not supposed to do that, but here's the tip. Okay.
So this always throws me. So I'm
I know.
very
This throws everybody off. But
Which
here's how it
finger?
goes. Okay. So you hold your finger like this.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're gonna feel the meat part of your thumb. That's gonna tell you what it is. So when you're at your first finger is medium rare. So if you feel that, that's how a medium rare steak or pork chop would feel. This is medium. Middle finger is medium. You can feel it feeling more firm.
Yep.
Ring finger, medium well. You're like, oh yeah, that's kind of hard.
Yeah.
That's like medium well.
Well done.
And then pinky is well done. That's hard.
All right.
I hope you don't cook anything well done. For those of you who do, I still love you. Okay.
Yeah. Which finger is your
I'm a
preference?
medium rare kind
You're
of
a
guy.
medium rare kind of guy.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going
So.
for a medium rare here. And while we let these pork chops cook, and I gotta say, I wish you could smell this because it does smell very, very
They do
good.
smell good.
We're gonna take a quick break to hear from Partnership for a Healthy America and all the amazing, amazing work they are doing with the Pass the Love campaign. We'll see you in a few minutes.
The goal of the Pass the Love campaign is to provide 1 million meals for families all around the country. We're right here in Philadelphia providing those meals right now to 5,000 families, but our goal is to reach 1 million meals all across the country.
What we're really talking about is food equity. Everybody, every family, every child, every person deserves to have the healthy food that they need.
At Philabundance, we prioritize providing families with fresh, healthy food because we know the health consequences when people are food insecure. So we were delighted to partner with the Partnership for Healthier America because they were providing families with kids healthy meal kits.
Pass the Love, especially being connected to waffles and mochi, you've got this connection with the Netflix show where kids are watching and learning about it, and then they can actually see those ingredients come into their kitchen, and then they get to try it out. So it's this connection from something that they see on TV, from someone like Michelle Obama and waffles and mochi, then they get to try it and eat it in their own kitchen, which I think is a really wonderful experience.
The program will help people learn about how to prepare healthier meals for people. And then I think as more people hear about this, they'll understand that if we're looking to feed people who are hungry, we should provide them with all the elements that they need.
Within the box, nice fruits, onions, vegetables, really great. And I love the detail, how you guys presented it in the box.
They had a little quesadilla roll. It tasted wonderful, like new fika. You can't just choose one thing. You always gotta choose everything.
I came out today because I got a text message to come and get the box of the free food with the free vegetables and things. And the vegetables are very fresh. Feel like just snatched out the dirt fresh. Some of the supermarkets the fresh vegetables aren't even as fresh as what was in the box.
Ultimately, what we need to do is make sure that everybody, every family, all kids have access to the fresh fruits, vegetables, nutritious, delicious food that they need to grow and thrive. So that's what we're really trying to do. That's the importance of this work.
All right, guys, welcome back. Again, I am here with Chef Sam Kass. We are here tonight cooking his apple cider pork chops with Faro risotto and raising funds for Partnership for a Healthier America and their Pass the Love campaign to deliver 1 million nutritious meals to families in need. We are up to $20,000. We want to hit that 55K mark. So we've still got some work to do, but I don't think we're done with our dish yet. So
We're not, but just want to have a little shout out to Jess's mom, Lori, who's watching. Lori, we need you here. Come on, Lori. Help us out.
Lori in Los Angeles.
Lori in Los Angeles. Okay, we're going to finish our risotto and then do our pan sauce, and we'll be good to go.
That looks great. So I can see that the risotto nicely thickened up and absorbed the water.
Yep, you can see it opened up a little bit. It's perfect, ready to go. And we're going to get the veggies in there, and then we're going to finish it at the end. And now, so we can, I'll toss those in.
Yep.
Don't be afraid to use your hands.
Nope. So these were our chopped, our mushrooms and our shishito peppers. We roasted them for about 15 minutes.
Yep.
You can see that really beautiful caramelization. If you want to check for doneness, you can always use a toothpick or a fork just to make sure they're nice.
You can't go wrong.
Inside. You can't really go wrong. Yep. Throw that there.
All right, so that's in and good to go.
Okay.
And we have it down, so we're going to get our
fat.
Our mascarpone here, but you can use sour cream, you can use butter, you can do your thing.
And mascarpone you can use it like a sweet application as well, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So we've got our mascarpone, some beautifully grated Parmesan cheese. We're just going to stir that in.
We actually might need just a splash of water. So sometimes it can dry, the Faro can absorb. So if you have a little stock or a little water at the end, just a splash will help it all go. And honestly, I'll always tend to finish it with also a little olive oil.
Yep.
That's why
You
not.
can never have too much olive oil.
Yep. Go ahead, chef.
Throw it in.
Jump her in. Yep.
All right. Yep. Are we doing a little more?
Yeah, we just need a little more heat.
All right.
You see it starting to melt. You want to get it all nice and melty. And if you stop and it'll start to thicken up again, you can always just add a little more liquid. And so when you serve it, honestly, I think we need just a touch more. If you wouldn't mind, chef. Yep.
And often you'll hear you should taste as you go. What does that mean exactly?
Perfect, right there. Yeah, normally it's always good to taste as you go. For this, it's now I'd have a taste.
Have a taste.
Because we're basically at the end. I want to make sure that I don't need any more salt. I'll use this spoon. We will taste it. It's absolutely delicious. It does need a little more salt.
More salt.
We're good. All right.
All right.
Let's go to the side. Okay. Now, if you cook this and I don't know, your kid falls and hits their head and you got to give them a Band-Aid or something and it gets thick, then just when you reheat it right before you serve it, you can just add a little more liquid.
All right, so we finished up our Faro risotto. Next, we're going to make our pan sauce.
And then we're done. So we're almost there, people. So now's your chance. Show us the money. Waffles and mochi. Pass the love. Okay.
I've noticed there's still some brown bits in the pan.
The brown bits is everything. That's what you're looking for. That's everything.
We're not going to get rid of it.
We're not. Oh, definitely not getting rid of it.
All right.
So basically what we're doing here is let's make sure that doesn't get too hot.
Yep.
We don't want it to burn. So, you want your honey out. If it's in the fridge or something, it's going to get super tough to work with. So we're going to put this honey here. It's beautiful Blue Apron honey.
I do like how you're using honey instead of something like sugar, like a table sugar.
Yeah, I think it gives a nice flavor. We love the bees. We need to save the bees.
Right.
Bees are everything. Apple cider vinegar, which is a great balance to the honey. It is bright, acidic, Goes great with pork chops.
There's quite a few benefits to apple cider vinegar.
Yes.
As well.
And then a little demi.
What is
Basically
demi?
a little jus.
Say more.
It's basically chicken stock cooked down. That's all it is. It's chicken broth cooked down. Give this a mix. That's all it is into the pan. And now all those bits in the pan, that's all just flavor, baby. We want all of that. We got the fat in there.
Nice.
We're going to give it a, we're just going to warm it up a little bit.
So you hear that? Keep your brown bits in the pan.
Do not, please do not get rid of
them.
that. And then we're just going to cook this down.
So we're just looking for the sauce to thicken
Just
a
going to
bit.
thicken it up just a little bit.
And it's great. I mean, you have this sort of the sweetness from the honey, you'll get the tartness from the apple cider vinegar, and really that umami from the demi and
Yep.
fond.
And you're good.
It's a totally balanced sauce.
And we're basically ready to go. So we're going to cook this down. We're going to plate it up. I'm going to slice these pork chops, and away we go.
I think we've got
Last chance for questions.
2 questions from the audience.
So first question on the pan sauce. How do you know when it's done?
You know when it's you could serve it anytime from now until it gets really thick, and you just want to give it a taste. If you like a light little more of a jus action, I could serve it right now. I'll let it thicken just a little bit so it has a little more kind of a little thicker, a little more consistency to it. But there's something like that, no right or wrong.
And it will, you'll see that as it sits, it tends to thicken a little more. So
Yeah.
even if it's like a little loose right when you
That's
take it
right.
off the stove, like don't worry, it will thicken up.
Yeah, right there. We're basically good. That's got
Yep.
a nice little. So I'm good. We're done.
Great. Any other questions?
Yeah, one general question and tips for cooking for a larger family, or how might you multiply this recipe for a larger group?
Literally just double or triple the recipe. Very simple. In fact, like Faro, you cook the base and honestly, then reheat it the next day and then add all your stuff. So basically, do the first step of getting it cooked with the garlic and the shallot, and then you could do a lot of it. And then when you're ready to go, you put it back in the pan and just reheat it and do all the things, and you'll get a beautiful dish. So cooking ahead of time when you got a lot of people is a great strategy. All right, we're
All
plating
right.
this.
We are plating this. So
That
we're
means
gonna-
I need a plate.
you need a plate, and we're gonna slice up our pork.
We are.
I noticed that you let the pork rest
I did.
for a second or two. Is that a needed step? Can you skip that step?
Please don't skip that step.
Please don't.
It
skip that
doesn't.
step.
It doesn't take more than a couple minutes to get a much better experience. 5 minutes, 7 minutes is ideal. And what it allows the meat is basically just going to start to relax. Basically, when it cooks, it gets tense, and then it relaxes and will reabsorb a lot of the juice that is pushed out. And so, yeah, just please let it rest a few minutes. So I'm
Any
just going to give a
tips
slice.
for cutting something like pork.
It's hard to mess up cutting pork.
Yeah.
It's a flat, evenly round, as you see.
The
Nice.
grain.
Nice medium. Yeah. For this, because of the way it's cut, you only have really one option.
Yep.
And yeah, I got to say, that's perfect.
Great.
Let's bring this over here.
Okay.
We're going to get our risotto, which looks great. Let me wash my hand. Wipe my hand. That looks terrible.
You know, a lot of
And-
people sometimes forget that step of plating, but it's really an important part. It's kind of when you get to, showcase everything that you've worked on for this past hour.
Well, look, people eat with their eyes.
Totally.
Am I doing 2 servings?
Yep. Let's do it. Well, I'd like some.
Fair enough. Fair
I've been
enough.
sick. It's almost 6
I-
o'clock.
I want to be
know,
clear. I
okay.
was just going to serve you. I wasn't even going to serve
Oh,
myself.
wow.
So, but yeah, look, you eat with your eyes first. And
I
so,
will take that.
thank you. You eat with your eyes first, and you want to make sure that and basically what you're communicating here with how you plate, it's just that you put a lot of love into it, that you care about it. You care about the food, you care about the people. And if you just slop it all on the plate, you're kind of communicating, I don't really care about this. So I think that's really your goal when you're plating, is just to say, look, there's care and consideration in this. I'm going to wipe this up.
All right, so we put our Faro risotto as the base. We've got our pork on top.
Yep.
And then all we have left is our sauce.
Is
our
our
hand
jus.
sauce. And it's kind of great the way it's plated because like you get everything in one bite, really.
Super easy.
Yep.
Super easy.
I feel like this is a great dish for fall.
Great dish for fall.
Yeah, as the weather starts to
Yeah,
get
this is a
cooler.
full fall menu.
Yes.
So just hook it up, you know.
Well, it's
Like
great.
don't hang back on the sauce. Life is all about the sauce, right?
Life is all about the sauce. I'm very
All right.
hungry and very excited to eat.
There you go.
You got a fork?
I got a fork.
Pass me a fork.
There you go.
Give it a try. Apple cider pork chops with Faro risotto.
What do we think? Yeah, I'll take that.
Yep.
I support
Very
that.
good. It's really well seasoned. It's incredibly well balanced. And I do get the nuttiness from the Faro, which is really nice.
Yeah,
I seriously am very hungry.
that's delicious, I gotta say.
That's
So guys, listen. Hope you guys enjoyed the recipe, but the real reason we're here is because we all have a responsibility to help one another, especially in this time, especially given all we've been through the last 18 months. So please support the Partnership for Healthy America. Support Mochi and Waffles. They're doing so much passing of love around the country. We're trying to get 1 million meals to families in need. And Blue Apron is going to match every dollar that we give right now up to 55 grand to help these kids out. So there's very few opportunities like this to double your money in terms of impact. So please go to the site, do your part, and we're going to do better tomorrow because we're helping the kids today. So thank you for joining us. It's been super fun. It's amazing.
Thank you for joining us, Chef. Thank you for coming to our kitchen this evening.
Always good to be here, and hope you enjoy the meal when you guys order the box.
Happy cooking, everyone.